Death is inevitable, but the rate at which people are being ruthlessly killed these days is quite alarming. Hello lovely viewers and welcome to another true crime story on my channel. My name is Majohni and this is Sad Reality TV. If this is your first time joining, you are highly welcome, and just so you know, I upload on my channel videos based on true crime stories. If that is something that is of interest to you, then you have come to the right channel, because that is all I do here. Why not go ahead and hit the subscription button as a free way to support me and also to be notified each time I upload a new video. And for my returning subscribers, thanks, I really do appreciate your support. Without taking much of your time, let's get into today's story. Today we shall be traveling to the Sun City in South Africa. I will be bringing to you the horrible crimes of Nancy Majohni, the woman that killed her husband and went straight into the police station to file a missing persons report. Stay tuned with me and I will be bringing to you the details of Nancy's horrible crimes. On the 28th of July 2015, Nancy Majohni, a Zimbabwean woman based in South Africa with her husband, Prosper Chipangere, went into the police station and filed a missing persons report. Nancy told the police that she hasn't seen her husband, Prosper, for some days, that Prosper has suddenly gone missing. With no leads to work on, it was as if Prosper had just totally vanished into thin air. The case became gradually cold because the police had nothing to work on in order to look for Prosper. But recently, Nancy called her two kids and gave them the shocking confession. She told her children that she has to confess in order to be free, that since the day she killed their father, on that fateful day, 28th of July 2015, she had been battling to sleep. She hadn't gotten any decent sleep, and her husband's ghost has been pursuing her to confess. Reason why she is telling me, so she could be free and at least have one night of good sleep. The kids were so confused and devastated. They didn't know what to make of what their mother had told them. They were so devastated and even thought their mother had Nancy was running mad. They unanimously took a decision and decided to send Nancy back to Zimbabwe to their own country, so she could narrate the same story she had narrated to them. Nancy traveled back to Zimbabwe, called her own family and her husband's family, Prosper, and told them what she had earlier told her kids back in South Africa. She went further to say that on that fateful day, they had picked up the quarrel about Prosper's mismanagement of the family's farm. She got angry, picked up the hammer and struck Prosper. And when Prosper slumped to the ground, she got a spade and began dismembering Prosper's body. And when she was done dismembering his body, he put them in tiny plastic bags that night and dumped them into 3 different pit latrines. The family was so devastated and confused. They equally thought Nancy was gradually running mad. They couldn't believe, because all these years, for the past 5 to 6 years, they have been helping each other to get clues, to put the pieces of the puzzles together behind Prosper's disappearance. The family also decided to take Nancy back to South Africa, where she had earlier given a missing persons report, so she can again recount her story for the 3rd time, just to be sure. Nancy was taken back to South Africa, back to the Sun City's police station in South Africa, and she gave the same account of the series of events as she had given her family members. Of course, the police don't work on assumptions, so they decided to ask Nancy to take them to these 3 pit latrines where she had allegedly tossed her husband's body parts. She took the police there. An excavation team went together with them, and these 3 toilets were demolished, and as the excavation began, they retrieved bones and a human skull. It is said that it was indeed a moment of grief and pain, disappointment for the whole family. The bones were taken for DNA analysis and they were proven to be those of Prosper. Nancy was immediately charged with homicide and taken to prison. But before she could be taken to court, Nancy had earlier she had refused eating or drinking while in prison. She had gone on a hunger strike and suddenly fell sick. Her first case hearing was eventually postponed to a later date, but unfortunately before the later date, Nancy sadly passed in the hospital. How sad for a child to know that they lost one parent by the hands of the other parent. It is so devastating. Thank you all, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you believe in ghosts? Is it that Nemesis just caught up with Nancy, or did her husband force her to confess to killing him before he could kill Nancy as she had earlier alleged? Because the truth, the sad reality of this story is, if Nancy had not confessed killing her husband, there would have been a 0% chance that anyone would have ever understood what happened to Prosper. It would have been a mystery for life. Do you think Prosper pushed Nancy to confess to killing him before he could eventually kill him, or did Nancy just deserve what she did for killing and dismembering her husband? Maybe Nemesis caught up with her, or her husband pushed her to confess and he eventually killed her. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as concerns this case. Thanks for always hanging out with me, and do not forget to subscribe and share if you haven't. Hoping to see you around in my next video. Until